Alright, so today we're going to cover a textbook or a video on how to absorb textbooks like a sponge. I will say that this guy is a little bit interesting, a little bit odd, but he will give you some very good information. If you are struggling for any reason to retain information that you've read in the textbooks, or like on your quizzes you feel a bit panicky because you're not sure if you've got it, this video will cover it. We're going to go over that real quick. Then we'll move on to our Jeopardy, of course, and if we have time, we'll continue our video on the Russia-Ukraine thing. I don't know if you saw the recent news. The most recent news I saw on that event, speaking of geography, is that Russia has pulled out of Kiev, or Lviv as they call it. Now, as far as I know, they are not retreating completely. This is not like, hey, we're just leaving, but they are now attacking a different part of Ukraine in an attempt to get through there. But just interesting development, because I don't think anybody really saw that coming. It seems odd that they would relieve pressure on Kiev. So interesting. We'll see. Alright, so let's watch this. And let's see, I think I'll turn the light off of this just for the sake of the camera, make sure you can see it. Alrighty. Oh, that's that right. Okay, here we go.
Let's talk about how to remember information that you read from a textbook. Now, I covered this at the end of last week's class, but I want to go over it again pretty quick. And it's a lot easier than you might think. Now, the way most people normally try to read a textbook is they start at the first page of the chapter, and they read the last page of the chapter, and that's their approach. They read a textbook the same way they read a novel. Bad idea. It doesn't stay in their head. So I'm going to show you a few things that you can do to be able to read any kind of a textbook or any kind of a manual, especially if you are preparing for an exam. This is going to be life-changing when you understand this approach. So, the first thing that you do is you simply flip through, and I'm going to read you that, each page.
In other words, skim it.
What you're going to do is you are simply going to take the beginning of the chapter and you're going to turn page after page after page, and you're just going to look to see what's on each page. You're not going to read anything. You are just going to look at what the pictures are. You're going to look at what the pages look like. It's going to give you a sense of how long is the chapter, how much is there words compared to images, are there going to be graphs, does anything jump out at you? That's the very first thing you're going to do. Okay, now you go back to the beginning of the chapter again. This time, I'm sorry, I'm going to start over again. You're not going to go to the beginning of the chapter. You're going to go to the end of the chapter. You're going to start at the end of the chapter, and you are going to see, at the end of the chapter, did they give you any sort of a quiz? In a lot of textbooks, not all, but in most textbooks, there is going to be some sort of a quiz at the end of each chapter.
Usually.
Or at the
Some
end of each
textbooks don't
section.
always have this.
So, can anybody tell me why you think it would be a good idea to read the questions in the quiz before you read the chapter?
Okay, now, this is a little bit more difficult because when you're taking our college classes, obviously our quizzes are online and they're timed and you get one attempt. So you probably can't just go to the quiz, look at the potential questions, and then go back and read. But one thing that I do agree with them on for your textbook is don't try to read every single word straight through. One, you're going to bore yourself to death. I mean, textbooks take a while to get through, so the best thing to do is skim it, look over it, and kind of gloss over sections so that you know what are these sections talking about. Then you want to go back through and start taking notes on specific things. Usually there are textbooks that have highlighted words or italicized words or even words toward the beginning of the paragraph that are probably more emphasized. So you want to focus on these. These are the main themes of the chapter. And you'll get more into this, I think. So, but yeah, this one's a little tougher to do since the quiz is online.
To look for what you're discovering is, what did the author of this chapter think was so important you were supposed to
Ladies and gentlemen in the back, please focus on the video.
The information in the chapter. This is what you're supposed to get out of the chapter. So now when you're reading with a focused attention. Here's what I'm looking for. Now you're going to go back to the beginning of the chapter, and you are going to read the bold
strategy that works better for what we're using. Since you're using the online textbooks, when you take the quiz, you get a certain amount of time to take the quiz, and when you use the Control F word search on your textbook, your online textbook, look at the words that are in the quiz. Like pinpoint specific words. Like, let's say it's talking about groundwater basin. That's probably a key term that you're going to see. And it's only going to be mentioned probably 2 or 3 times in your book. So type that term into your Control F, and it will highlight that word for you in the chapter, making it much easier to find, and you'll be more likely to be able to see the answer up close. Now, I will say, be careful with this, because just because you find the term doesn't necessarily mean that's where the answer is. There have been students that have gotten called, like, oh, I see term, I see sentence, that's the answer. Sometimes the test questions can be tricky. It's not so bad in geography, but some of my students are going to test from HIS 2333 that it's like, oh boy, it gets really tricky. You find the term and you think that's what the question's asking, and then it's like, nope, that's not at all. So be careful with it, but that's a really fast way to do this.
What is the information that's contained in the bold print?
Stuff they want you to see.
Stuff they want you to see. The stuff that they put in bold print for a reason. This is the titles. These are the subtitles. These are the topic headings. These are how they broke down the information within that chapter. In other words, they're going to break it down for you. So now you're kind of understanding how this stuff fits together. You're going to go through one more time before you read the chapter. And you're going to read the first and last sentence. You're going to read the first and last sentence
Of each paragraph, each section.
in each paragraph. You're going to read the first and last sentence in each paragraph. The first sentence of a paragraph is the introduction. It's a quick overview. If it's well written, and if it's written by a good author, the first sentence of a paragraph gives you an indication as to what the rest of the paragraph is about. And usually the last sentence of the paragraph helps you sum it up. Right now, and I want to make this, I want to stress this, at this point you are not reading this for comprehension. You are reading this for exposure. You're not going to understand this stuff yet. Why? Because you haven't been able to connect the dots. But now you're going to have a map of all the dots. Now what you've got is preview of coming attractions. Now your brain is set up for here's what you're going to get.
And so sort of what he's talking about is a form of subliminal messages. You ever heard of that term, subliminal messaging? You know, like commercials do it all the time. So you're not going to be able to like necessarily go in depth for every single page. It's just going to take too long. But by skimming over the page and then rereading over the page and looking at specific key areas, you're training your brain to remember specific terms. Okay, and it's kind of like when you see a, I don't know, a TV series or something and they keep showing Kraft mac and cheese. Okay, what starts happening after a while? You start craving Kraft mac and cheese, right? You start getting hungry, like, I want some Kraft mac. Well, this the same thing applies to terms and vocabulary terms in a textbook. The more you see it and the more it flips in your brain, the more you remember it, and then when that question comes up, you're like, ah, I remember that. So
now you read the chapter and take notes on it.
yes.
How come we didn't watch this the first week so we knew how to read it, so we didn't take...
Each week is a different theme, so yeah, but...
This would have been so helpful.
Yeah, I mean, so far I haven't seen anybody doing really badly on quizzes. So, but this is more or less for it getting in college in general. This is sort of like a training video for the more classes you get into. This is a big strategy you're going to want to take. This class, the textbook is pretty easy. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. It's not hard to follow. But when you get some other stuff, again, HIS 233, those textbooks are going to get much more in depth, much more complicated, and you're going to have to really like pinpoint sections to remember. So.
Let me tell you, if you follow this formula, you'll only need to go through the chapter like this once. Now, I know what you're thinking. Yes, even you. What you're thinking is, that's a lot of work. Well, compared to what?
Reading it, kind of reread it, kind of reread it, kind of lost that.
It's, right, I mean, exactly. It's a lot of work compared to just blowing through it and putting your book away and going back to your video game or your squeeze this information out of your head. Because now what you've got is a systematic approach. Remember the old expression that we talked about weeks ago? Repetition is the mother of learning. Repetition is the mother of learning. Right? Repetition is
The father of learning.
So what are we doing? You're giving yourself multiple repeats. You're getting a little bit of a quick overview of what the whole thing looks like. You're finding out what the author thought was the most important stuff to read. So now your radar is on. It's called a reticular activating system. Reticular activating system, a very fancy word for your internal radar. You buy a brand new blue car and suddenly you see blue cars everywhere. You know what I'm talking about? You know, you happen to wear brown shoes that day, and you notice how many of the people are wearing brown shoes that day. That is, your awareness has increased. That is called the reticular activating system. And so this is what you want to activate before you turn around and read the chapter. Your awareness is now heightened. Bold print. You're now going to find out what they thought was so important they needed to put it in bold print. These are your headlines. And then, the first and last sentence of each paragraph, not just a page, of the paragraph, is going to give you a quick overview, section by section. Yes, it's slower than just reading through it once.
Okay, so we'll pause it there because he's basically reviewing up. All right, so let's turn the light on real quick. I'll tell you what, buddy, go ahead and take a seat somewhere else because we've got too many crowd back there. So,
Okay.
I guess I'll go to JD. Thank you. We already did. Real quick, any questions on this video?
No.
None at all? Okay. So, my suggestion, if you can link to this video, watch it, practice some of these skills for the sake of textbook retention. It will make your quizzes in just about every class a lot easier. It's a very good basic narrative strategy, and it will cost you less work. I know he was saying he was making a really good point. Is it a lot of work? Yes, it is. But, again, compared to having to read it 5 times over just to retain that information, it's a lot less work. Alright, I am going to say a couple things just to repeat for the sake of the video since we are recording. If you have sent me an email and I have not responded, make sure you resend it or check to make sure that you sent it to my TFC email and that it was sent from your TFC email. Remember to follow that. If you have, great, I should be responding. If not, resend it. Second point is, like I said, I've got 2 or 3 students across the various campuses that have not been turning in journals. So you need to check that, because if you got a 0 on that assignment, that's why. It's just said literally no submission, and so I'm like, I can't give you a grade for that, so make sure you double check it. If you have that, email me. It'll be a late grade penalty, but I can still give you something. It's better to get a late grade than a 0. So real quick on that. And any questions regarding the last few weeks? Yes, CC.
You did get mine, did you not?
I think you're one of the ones I did. It said no submission. So
I know I submitted it.
when I checked after Sunday, it literally said no submission. I will double check it, but I'm pretty sure in your name it said no submission on your journals. So, because I had the list on several of them, and there was like 2 names that said no file. So make sure double check, and I will also double check. And then if you see 0, send me an email, and we'll see. And I'll see what time that was sent in, because it should have been sent in by Sunday at midnight. So like 11:59. If you missed that deadline, it probably cut off. So I did get the quizzes. I think everybody turned in their quizzes on time. I don't think I had any missing ones. So yeah.
It turned in, but it was turned in on Monday.
Okay, then that's a late grade, so I can cover, but yeah, it's got to be turned in on the deadline. All right. Other than that, any other questions regarding class materials? No. Okay, let's move on to Jeopardy Rounds. As I said last week, you are allowed to use your laptops today. I think a 3, 3, and then I don't know. You think you 2 guys can handle your own team?
Totally.
Okay. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4 teams.
You have yourselves?
Yeah.
And you can sit them and talk about the yeah. And I will do my best to catch everybody's hands. know it's tougher on this round, so.
Are we doing chapter 5 first?
So what?
Chapter 5 first?
We are doing chapter 5, so I'm going to give you about a minute to open up your laptops and your textbooks to chapter 5.
Alright. Let's see, what's chapter 5?
And I think the best way for me to remember this is team 1, team 2, team 3, team 4 in the back. So team 1, team 2, team 3, team 4. We'll just keep it. We'll usually do names, but since we had to watch the video, we didn't have as much time on our hands. So I would like to get through some of these and then also get through chapter 6, obviously, and then be able to watch a little bit more of that video. So, all right. Is everyone up to speed on chapter 5? All right. Did anyone remember who won the last Jeopardy?
I think it was the bad one.
No,
It was
it was
that.
Okay, well, I'm going to give you guys the first stab at the question.
Bro, we had negative points.
Remember that you need to raise your hand before answering the question and wait for the question to be asked. So, all the way. So, you'll go ahead.
Keep on show me the money, 300.
Show me the money. Alright, the leading offshore banking location in the Caribbean. The Caribbean, if you prefer. Yes.
The Caymans.
Okay. Got the Caymans, very good. Team 4 starts off with a lead.
Oh, you didn't make that. Oh, never mind.
Alright. Team 4, it is your pick.
Rocks, plates, earthquakes, 300.
Alrighty. The country is known for the mountainous landforms of Sierra Madre Occidental, the Sierra Madre Oriental, and the Sierra Madre del Sur. This one, yes.
Mexico.
So what?
Mexico.
Yep, very good. Okay. Alright, we got our team is trying to play more. I wonder if the laptop has something to do with this.
It does.
Alright, team 1.
What was this? You didn't? No. Let's do fun facts 400.
Fun fact 400. The ruins of Tenochtitlan are located under this present-day city.
Wait. Oh shoot, Mexico City.
Okay. You are correct. Good job. Alrighty. Yeah. There's actually a lot of debate. I've heard the name of the city used to be Tenochtitlan, and there's like different ways to say it. Alright, team 1.
No, you go. This, that, and the other 500.
Alright. A form of Christianity blended with political activism. I got a hand up over here.
Wait, I know that was one.
Hold on, I had a hand up over here. So, are you retreating your hand or?
I'm looking for it.
Okay, I know that was.
Liberation theology.
Okay. Yep, very good.
Let's do that.
Show me the money.
Okay, team 1.
Shoot, influencer was 500, I guess.
Okay. The country of the United States helped Panama gain independence from, giving the U.S. the right to build and maintain the Panama Canal until 1991. Yes.
Colombia.
Okay. Very good.
I should have known this one, dude. My mom
This
was
is
there.
easy.
Alright, good job.
You mentioned.
Alright, team 3. It is your go.
So,
I skipped. I didn't finish after 5
okay.
Okay.
Fun facts 500.
Okay, fun facts 500. The 3 leading producers of cocoa, which is used in cocaine, or coca, excuse me, cocoa, which is used in cocaine. There's cacao and cocoa. Yes. CC.
Colombia, Peru, and Bolivia.
Okay.
Bolivia.
Very good. Good job, team 4.
Don't act like dude.
That was very close. I saw it, but your hand went up right before yours did. That's
Don't
very
act like
close.
that. No.
Alright, team 4, your pick.
Are you doing the first one?
Yeah, I'm gonna do this. Pick.
Pick. Show me the
No, it's your turn. I already picked.
Fun facts 300.
Fun facts 300. The world's largest river for the amount of water discharged from it. Yes.
No, wait, I know it.
Remember, you can't
Damn,
lose.
No.
You had to retract your hand, and she put hers up right after that, so I'm letting them have it.
Amazon.
Right
I had this one.
Yeah, Amazon Red.
You wouldn't be.
Remember, if you're gonna pull your hand up, you gotta be ready for that answer, or else it goes to someone else. Alrighty, team 2, okay.
This, that, and the other 300.
Okay. When farmers only grow enough food to feed themselves and their families, yes.
Subsistence farming.
Okay. It was very close to the back, but she got it. Good job. Wasn't actually a much closer game. I like this. So, all right, team 2.
I came prepared. Yeah.
No back fam.
Show me my money for 400.
Show me the money for 400. Okay. The indigenous people of Middle and South America suffer from poverty because wealthy people from blank took over their land.
I want to say from the USA.
What?
What?
No,
No, Europe.
I'm so stupid right now. Oh God, bro.
USA was the first Spain.
Spain were the first people to colonize most of North America. They were here before
Spain
everyone
and
else.
France, yeah, Spain and France.
Well, Christopher Columbus came from the Spanish Inquisition, so technically the Spanish had more rights here.
Yeah, which is ironic because Chris Columbus was Italian, so born in Genoa. Alright, okay, listen up. Alright, so that being said, Team Oaks, we're going to mix it up. Let's let Team 3 have a go at it.
Rocks, plates, and earthquakes.
Alright. An island chain. Yes.
Archipelago?
Alright, just give it a wait. Go ahead. What was it?
Archipelago?
Archipelago.
Archipelago, that's it. Archipelago, I don't know. I forgot the name, oh my gosh. Why? I didn't do that.
Alrighty, Team 3, it's your go. Good job. That was close though. I was like,
200 rocks, plates, and earthquakes.
okay. Rocks, plates, and earthquakes, 200. The two plates that form the Caribbean Islands, or Caribbean Islands. Caribbean Islands. That's what it is. I was getting mixed up. Yes, in the back.
Chile and Argentina.
Okay. Not quite. The Caribbean plate and the North American plate. The two plates, not countries. Yeah, sorry.
Up there. It's up here somewhere.
Yeah, it's right here. Alright, let's let team 1 in the back, or team 1 here get a shot.
What do you want?
Influencers 300. Alright, listen up. Here we go. The ancient empire that built the city of Tenochtitlan. Yes, in the back.
Aztecs.
Alright.
No way.
Very good job.
Yeah. I'm coming for you.
Alrighty, team 4 in the back. This is a much closer game.
Fun facts 200.
Okay, fun facts 200. The hot coastal areas of Central America are known for these two agricultural crops.
Okay.
Sugar and
Yeah, sorry, should have said team. Yeah, it was close.
Sugar and rye, or sugar and corn.
Sugar and corn. That's your final answer. Sugar and corn. Bananas and rice. Yeah. Bananas and rice.
It's sugar and something else.
No,
No, the coastal areas of Central America.
Coastal.
Yeah.
No. That's my bad. That's my bad. I thought they were talking about something else.
Yep. All right. So team 2, I'm gonna let y'all pick.
Influence 200.
Influencers 200. All right. Here we go. The two groups who had a strong impact on the cultural landscape of Middle America.
The Incas and Aztecs.
Okay, let's see. The Maya and the Aztecs. So because you got half right, I won't give you points, but I won't take away. So the originals were the Maya and the Aztecs. The Incas were actually South America. So, alrighty. Okay, let's see. Team 4, I'll let y'all pick one.
Oh, sorry, my page just broke at the moment. I wouldn't say something. Show me the money 500.
Okay, show me the money 500. Where goods and services are bought and sold without being taxed or monitored by the government. Yes.
Informal agreement.
Okay.
Or environment.
Informal sector. Again, half right, so I won't give you, but I won't take him away because informal sector. Yeah.
Informal
Close, close, close.
Thank you, Franklin.
You're welcome. I just.
Alright, team one. You get a pick.
Just go for the rocks and plates, 500.
Rocks and plates, 500. Alright, here we go. A narrow strip of land that connects two larger land masses.
I feel
Yes.
like this would be endless, right?
An isthmus? What?
Yeah.
He is correct.
Get dunked on.
Yep. An isthmus.
Somebody find it.
Yep.
Are we allowed to raise our hand and then search up the answer after we raise our
I've
hand?
always felt like that name was like somebody who had a list named it.
Yes.
So they're like, what do we call it? An isthmus. An isthmus? Okay. And they just kind of went with that. I was like, okay, fair enough.
No, okay. I don't think.
At the very
Alright.
top of the chapter, Franklin.
Team one.
Which chapter?
Chapter 5.
So what?
This, that.
I'm not on that.
Alright, this, that, and the other for 400. Here we go. Cities which are the largest city in a country are more than twice as large as the next largest city and are representative of the national culture. Yes.
Primate cities.
Okay, let's see. That was very close, but she got it. Primate cities. Very good. Boy, this is, I like this. This is a close game. So, alright, team two.
Back in the lead.
So what?
I think influencers.
Influencers 400.
Not to get
The blending of indigenous American Indians with European cultures. In the back, Cece.
I looked it up.
So what?
Mexican?
Okay. Yes. Mestizo.
They're looking at us.
Yeah.
Hey, you raise your hand.
Mestizo.
No, I know,
Very good.
I know, actually know how to say it.
Alright, team 1 and team 4 are currently neck and neck for the lead. No pressure. Keep in mind, team 2 and team 3 can still come up. There are still plenty of options here. So, alright, so team 4 is your pick.
This, that, and the other 200.
Shh, wait, everyone, what?
This, that, and the other 200.
200, alright. When land is taken from one group and claimed by another. Yes, Caleb.
Displacement.
Okay.
Got it.
Land
I didn't know.
Displacement is how they measure
There's not, there
ships.
wasn't a keyword.
Yeah, but that is definitely one of the primary objectives and targets between almost any war is the acquisition of land. So why is land so important? Like just for why?
Because land holds resources.
Boom.
It can be many different things. Resources.
Right. Resources is the main thing. So let's say, and this is kind of what's going on in Russia right now, you can have a whole lot of land, but let's say it doesn't have hardly any resources, but then you've got another smaller plot of land that's got a lot of resources, which is more attractive. The smaller one, it's got those resources that keep your country going. That has been, since the dawn of history, an issue. Alright, who got that one wrong? Oh, no, y'all technically got that one wrong. Alright, let's move it on. Team 2, let y'all pick another one.
Show me the money 200.
Show me the money. I love the adjective. Show me the money 200. Show me the money. Alright. In Middle and South America, the top 10% control around this percent of the region's wealth. Yes.
81%.
Ooh, specific number.
I could have sworn it was 81.
Closer to 70.
No, because America has the highest at 75. US has the highest at
It's
75.
71 actually.
So what?
71%.
Yeah, 71. I was thinking about 71.
Yeah. You were close. 71 is close to 80, so it's practically 10. Alright, let's see. Team 3, you need a little help here, so let's let y'all pick.
We're out of it anyway, but from back's 100.
Okay. The highest mountain range of South America in the back.
The Andes.
Okay. Very good, team 4. Andy's Mountain, and with that, they pulled ahead. Alright, this is going to be pretty close. So, and actually, team 2, you can still pull us away if you get off the
Dude,
right.
bro, because of the shopping, I'm on wireless Wi-Fi, but it's
Yeah.
fucking.
Alrighty, team 4, you're big.
Show me the money 100.
Show me the money 100. In developing countries around the world, 1/3 of the people live in these. Yes.
Wait.
No, wait.
Look, the question.
I
No.
think you have to.
Yes, in the back.
Slums.
Okay. Good job, team 2. Yeah. Yes, answering this the same way will not get you the correct answer. So, alright. Team 2, you're go.
I just
Rocks, plates, and earthquakes.
Alright. A 7.0 magnitude earthquake killed over 100,000 people in this country. Yes.
80.
Okay.
Either 80 or.
It was Haiti. Very good.
Always Haiti.
tracking everything.
Actually, yeah, it's funny that you say it's always Haiti. Haiti right now is probably one of the least desirable places to live because it gets hit by everything.
Hurricanes, earthquakes.
Yeah, it's just, it never seems to catch a break. Alrighty, team 3. So,
Influencers 100.
Influencers 100. The primary European countries that conquered and ruled South America during the 1400s to the 1700s, I'm going to give it to him because he was ready to go. It was very close, but this one, yeah.
Portugal and Spain.
So what?
Portugal and Spain.
Portugal and Spain? Spanish and the Portuguese, yep.
Very good.
Yeah.
Alright, so
We have to get this one right.
this one's going to be tight. Alright, so we got the last one. This theoretically designed is the winner. Say what?
I was gonna say, can we take it?
Yeah. Oh, did you want to choose that one? Or okay, because it's the only one on the board. Alright. The indigenous people of Middle and South America tend to hold jobs in this field.
Plantations.
Oh, see, the reason I bring this up, it's agriculture. I'll give it to you. So this is a tie. So we're gonna keep this tie because we're going into the next game. So this right now, team 1 and team 4 are tied.
Oh shoot, there's another one?
Yeah.
Wait, we reset scores.
They will be reset, but we'll call it a tie between these two teams. This was a lot better, I think. It was like way more balanced and very close. So, open your laptops to chapter 6. I'll give you all like half a second or half a minute to do that.
I already did.
Half of them are over there anyways.
6.
Why did you just put 90?
Oh wait, races.
Oh, hey.
Alright, is everybody ready? Looks like it. So, because we got two teams that tied, I feel like the team that had the least amount of points should go first on this round. So, team 3, I'm going to let y'all pick the first question.
No. No.
Everything was kitchen sink. 500.
Alright, wow, going straight big here. Here we go. When governments deteriorate to the point where they no longer are functional. Yes, sir.
Anarchy.
Okay.
Hey, can we point out this man's everybody that takes up raising their hand before the question?
That is true, but it doesn't matter because it was actually wrong. Anarchy.
So it doesn't count because we raised before, so we don't lose points.
Yeah, you keep thinking that. So, the failed state.
Are you kidding me?
Good job, Steve.
Alrighty, so that's how you set up the team. But yeah, make sure that you were waiting for the question to finish up. So. Alright, okay, listen up. So, we're going to move one over here. Let's let team 2 get a pick. Let's stay with the second last on that one.
Yeah, I could.
I'm using.
African history and culture, 300.
Okay, African history, culture, 300. The main ethnic group and religion found in the Sahara region. The main ethnic group and religion found, yes.
I know the religion is probably Muslim, but
Okay.
I'm not sure if that's the ethnic group. If it
We'll
counts as
see.
ethnic groups.
We'll see. So, Arabs and Islam. So, I kind of going to give this to you because Islam is Muslim, but Muslim is the religion and Islam is the religion, and Arabs is the people. So, I'm not going to take the points, but I don't want to give them because, yeah, I needed to. You were on the right path, though. So, the Arabs and Islam. Yep. All right. Team 1. Let's let you pick one.
Slavery and racism, 300.
All right.
Great topic.
Tough topic. What reshaped the political and ethnic landscape in Africa with lasting effects up to today? This is team 3. So what?
Slave trade?
Okay, let's see. European colonization. Yeah, you were along the right path, but yeah. Now that being said, slavery did not begin with European colonization. That had been going on in Africa, but once the European colonization started happening, slave trade became extremely lucrative for both sides. Yes.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Belgium at some point during, I want to say like the 1700s, own like half the Congo? Because Africa was being split up.
Yes.
Because I thought it was funny, the smallest European country has the most land in Africa.
Yes, and it was actually called the Belgian Congo.
And is it still called the Republic of the Congo?
Right now it's the Republic of the Congo. It's no longer the Belgian. A lot of the colonies' territories were rescinded. I think they still have some that are like, I won't say Liberia. There's a few countries that are still technically under colonial rule, or at least influenced heavily by it.
Most of them in English, I think.
Yes.
So after World War I, England pretty much said, you know what, Germany can't have any more colonies there and beat up in Italy.
Yeah. Well, the three greatest ones, well, I'm not, just in case it appears in here, I'm not going to say it, but if we get to it, I'll mention it. All right, so that being said, Team 4, you haven't had a chance to pick one, so.
Landscape and culture 500.
Okay, landscape and culture 500. Some of the deepest lakes in the world are found along this rift.
Crap, I forgot in mind.
All right.
See?
Did you have your hand up?
No.
Oh, sorry. Cece?
Wait, along, Rift Valley, sorry.
Rift Valley is what it is.
Okay.
I couldn't get my words.
Greater Valley, yep. Oof, that was close.
I was like trying to say,
And
I was like,
multiple people were like, no, no.
I had it like, I was a whole tongue twist in the middle of that.
All right, so Team 4, you have officially taken the lead with a significant amount. Woohoo! So,
African history and culture 500.
all right. A common language spoken between speakers of different languages.
English?
No.
Are you kidding me?
Is that your
Never
first
mind,
one?
I'm not answering. I'm not answering.
He gave the answer.
I
so
gave the answer.
It's not. It's referred to as
Lord,
language.
JD.
I see where you're going with that. Like, yes, English is a very common language.
English is not the most spoken language in the world.
That is true. It's actually
people
Mandarin.
can speak
I read this description
when they're totally different languages are
English is the language that common languages in the dark
Wait, what?
English. The English is the language that amongst 10 other languages in a dark alleyway and similar words.
That's true.
Kind of, yeah. We're kind of a hybrid language. Yeah, we took a little bit of everything. But what a lot of people don't know about English is it's actually Germanic in origin. So, because we think of the Angles as England and Angles, but actually it was the Anglo-Saxons that came over from the Germanic areas. So really most of the English base is Germanic, which is why it's closer to German language than anything else. Alrighty, so we got that one right here. So Team 2 in the back, let me y'all pick.
Nice.
We're gonna write our class cards. Y'all
Health and illness is 200.
Health and Illness is 200. Alright.
15 minutes.
The countries of Swaziland, Botswana, and Lesotho are hardest hit countries where 70% of the people are dying or have this disease. Yes.
HIV or AIDS.
Okay. Good job, Team 2. HIV/AIDS.
AIDS.
Alright. Team 2, you're going.
Landscape and culture 300.
Landscape and Culture 300. The two deserts found in Africa due to the Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn crossing through Africa. In the back, Cece.
Wait, you just said that, never mind.
Okay. Anyone else got an answer?
Oh.
Cece? Nobody else raised their hand, so what?
Limb Desert?
Two deserts. So,
deserts.
I'm gonna give it to alright, he's got the answer, so.
The Sahara and the Nami.
Okay. Very good. The Sahara and the
Hey,
Namib.
baby.
Yep. Sahara and the Namib.
Well, why don't you say it?
Go back to even, baby.
Alrighty, Team 3. It's your pick now. They're all coming up, so you can pull this out. Yeah.
Everything but the kitchen sink 300.
Everything with the kitchen sink
Has
is
it gone
300. This environmental problem with the Sahel has caused the Sahara to expand and has forced farmers to migrate south in search of fertile soil. Yes.
A drought.
Okay. Desertification. Close. Close. So I'll tell you what. I'm going to not give you the points, but I'm not going to take them away because that answer is essentially a drought of sorts.
Yeah.
It's similar, so I will let you know. Yeah, it's kind of like a mega drought, but. Alright, so let's see. Team 1, let's let y'all have a pick. Good. Team 1.
Everything but the kitchen sink 400.
Alright.
You're gonna lose this. No.
Broadly refers to the control of a territory by another group and colonial policies varied across Africa. In the back, CC.
Colonialism?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
Shut up.
Alright, so that's 4.
Slavery and racism 500.
Okay. The first European nation to begin buying enslaved Africans. Yes, in the back.
England.
Portugal.
No.
It is Portugal, right?
It is Portugal. Sorry.
That's the largest part of the
Yeah.
trade.
You guys didn't
Because they bought
The Portuguese.
Why didn't you look at my
I couldn't read.
Is that a funny joke about the Portuguese, by the way? It's like when you meet one person from Portugal. So like funny joke from Portugal. It's like when you meet one Portugal, it's
We're still.
guys, come on. Don't talk over the teacher. Anyway, that one joke from Portugal. You meet one Portugal person, it's a Portuguese.
Oh my
I mean,
gosh.
two is Portuguese, and they have their children, the Portuguese.
Oh.
I love that joke. So, alrighty. Let's see. So y'all didn't get that one right. So I'm gonna give Team 2 a chance to pick one.
African history and culture, 200.
Okay. Here we go. Equal division of land among the males in early African families.
Second division.
Ooh, this one actually stumped people. It's like this weird fish little thing to make sure I catch everything.
I know the one for males is the first one is like criminal.
Oh,
We might have our first skip. Oh, no. Alright. Don't worry, you can only lose points.
oh, I know, that's what I'm thinking. Is this a land?
So what?
Is this a land?
The question is equal division of land among the males in early African families. Easy?
United Kingdom
Unless your math is it.
or pro?
Nope, it is partable inheritance.
Yeah, I was-
Partable
I was
inheritance.
doing this, but I was looking through the text.
Yeah.
So I see.
Alrighty. Let's see. Team 3, I'm gonna let y'all have a bit.
Let's get landscape to culture 200.
Landscape and culture 200? Okay. One environmental concern in the Congo Basin. One environmental concern in the Congo Basin. Yes.
Deforestation.
Okay. Very much so. Good job.
Yeah. 1,000 boys. Let's go.
Hey, don't get too proud. They can still,
If
they can still win because right now Team 2 and Team 4 are not ahead by much. So this is anybody's game. All right, Team.
Well,
Okay, let's just try for the 500 just to get it out of the way so
I
they
can't
can't.
count as 500.
All right. Health and illness is 500.
Anything with it.
A significant challenge with the high fertility rate in sub-Saharan Africa. Yes.
Overcrowding.
Okay. Healthcare specifically. Healthcare is a major issue.
It's a high
So,
question.
We're avoiding at the negatives.
they're gonna win off getting one question right.
they're going to have so much negative that they come back to positive from the reverse. Like they're going to go to a gigaplex of negative and somehow come back to this one. All right, team 2, we'll let y'all pick.
We're gonna break the system.
Yeah, Jeopardy's just going to break and you're going to suddenly have 1,300 points. Jeopardy has like a pity system built in, like it won't let you go past a certain age. No, I'm just kidding.
You had one last
Health and illness is 400.
So what?
Health and illness is 400.
Alrighty. The practice of exerting economic rather than direct political control over territory. So this is the practice of exerting economic rather than direct political control over a territory. This still happens very much today.
Why do I smell coffee?
How do you spell cost?
Not the spell.
Yes, McKenna.
Neocolonialism.
Okay. Yeah, neo-colonialism. Colonialism. That one. So another one, the neo means new, so it's another form of colonialism. It's a lot easier nowadays to control nations through money than it is to control them by just invading them. So
Socialism is starting to work.
in some ways, yeah. The influence of economics has a lot of control nowadays. All right, Team 1, that is your pick. You can still run this.
History and culture.
For 400? Okay. Groups of families united united by a common ancestry and language.
Ethnicity.
What?
I'll give it to you. No, tribes.
It's the same.
It's not quite the same thing, but I won't take it away. So it's tribes.
Ancestry. If you're
specifically.
united by ancestry and language, you would be considered the same ethnicity.
Ethnicity is what you're thinking of. Ethnicity, kind of, but not necessarily the same families. Ethnicity may imply the same language and some of the same cultural practices, not necessarily the exact same family tree. So tribes are usually born into each other, but I won't take it away because it's close enough. Alrighty. Team 3, I'll let you have to pick on that too.
Slavery and racism, 100.
Okay?
Wow.
A system of racial separation that kept the minority white group in charge of the government, education, and wealth, and was practiced until 1994 in South Africa.
Segregation?
Oh, that's long.
Not quite, because it's apartheid. Again, I'm not going to take it away from you because apartheid is a form of segregation, but it was specifically apartheid. So this was a big deal. Did any of you ever hear of Nelson Mandela? So have you ever heard that name, Nelson Mandela? So this is what he was involved in. So you should look him up. Very interesting historic figure. All right, Team 3. I'm gonna let y'all pick one.
Racism and slavery and racism 400.
Okay, slavery and racism 400. One of the leading causes of the Rwandan genocide. Yeah, they're stumped one.
I won't be stumped as soon as this thing looks.
Cece.
I don't want to get it wrong.
Okay, so you're retracting it?
Yes.
Okay.
I think we just gotta skip.
We'll give it a minute.
Alright.
See what happens, but yeah, otherwise we'll skip. Try to find Rwandan genocide in Rwanda. Yes, CC.
I'm gonna go with Germany's defeat in World War I.
Indulge in favoritism toward those resembling the Caucasian race. Yeah. It's a good guess. Yeah,
Wow.
good guess. I don't know, Team 2 might win just off of like being safe and strategic. Alright, speaking of Team 2, y'all get a pick.
Don't answer another question. That was
Right, just don't answer.
very scared, so we just have to be
Health and illnesses, 300.
Alright, health and illness is 300. Here we go. When an illness is found with a population in relatively steady numbers, McKenna.
Endemic.
Okay. Very good. Endemic. Excellent job, Team 1. Endemic. Alright, Team 1.
Landscape and culture.
Landscape and culture 400.
Yeah.
When one area of land is farmed for a period of time and then abandoned until its fertility naturally restores.
Hey.
Yes.
Shifting cultivation.
Okay. Very good.
Excellent right there.
Good job. Yeah. Alright. Here we go again. We got this osmosis. It's still anybody's game. Team 1.
We're gonna make that comeback. Everything but everyone's thing, I guess.
The transitional region south of the Sahara that has some grassland where the majority of the people are pneumatic herders.
Oh, I think I know this one.
Okay.
The Sahel?
The Sahel region. Very good.
Oh, they were gonna come back.
Alrighty. Wow. It's getting close again, man. This is
People
intense.
are killing it, but
Yeah.
Slavery and racism 200.
Alright, slavery and racism 200. The systematic elimination of a group of people in order to gain territorial and political control. Yes.
What is genocide?
I guess I did.
Yep.
I should have known this one. I committed a lot of this in Minecraft.
We're
Sorry,
team
Team 2. You are Team 2.
Oh my god.
So,
and now
yeah. Right now, I will say this is currently what Putin is being accused of. So genocide, and it's arguably true because they've found some what are called death pits where people in mass numbers have been executed and thrown into these pits. It's kind of something that's surprising to see in this day and age, because we often think, well, we live in a more enlightened age, so we're more enlightened, and C.S. Lewis actually called that chronological snobbery, the idea that, well, because we're modern, we're more enlightened. It's like, no, people are still capable of doing horrible, horrible things, and it's a shame to see it, though. All right, Team 2, your go. This might be your victory.
You can still tie it.
Could happen.
Don't answer unless you absolutely
We're not-
get it wrong.
If they get it wrong, or if we get all four, if we split the
Worst comes to worst, it'll
questions,
be a tie.
let's say if we split the questions, then nothing happens. So
Team 2 played it safe. They played it well this time. So.
I still just declare that
They played it well, right?
Kitchen sink 100.
So,
Everything but the kitchen sink 100.
alrighty. The continent known for being the cradle of human civilization. Yes, it was first.
Africa.
Okay. And with that, I think Team 2 is officially
so many.
dominated.
It's something.
Alright, we still got 3 more. Let's cover these 3 and then we'll move on to the video. I think this class goes until 1:25, so let's finish these 3. So, y'all can pick.
African history and culture.
Okay. An underlying problem caused problems for the Africans and their newfound freedom of ruling themselves. So this underlying problem caused problems for the Africans and their newfound freedom of ruling. Yes.
Underlying ethnic tension or resource issues.
Okay. Little European regard for ethnic territories. I won't take it away, but you're close. The main issue is, even though the Africans found independence, the Europeans really didn't there. They continued to enforce borders and stuff. Alrighty, so let's go with health and illnesses 100. When an illness affects large numbers of people on a regional scale, yes.
Pandemic.
Okay.
No.
Epidemic. And again, I wouldn't have taken it away because it was close enough, but yeah. Alright, and final one.
One thing I've learned is that epidemic is small.
Mhm.
It's smaller. It's more like something in one regional area.
Right.
Pandemic is something global.
Yeah.
We are currently at.
No, we're not.
No.
Alright, easily sold raw materials or agricultural goods.
Pandemic.
So easily sold raw materials or agricultural goods.
England is going to be.
Okay.
Commodities.
Commodities. Very good.
Second, baby.
There it is. Second place.
Take it.
Yeah.
It was right here. I think.
So I definitely think this laptop thing worked out. It made more interesting, more balanced overall. So the second game didn't go quite as good, but alright, so we're going to spend the rest of class kind of covering. I may only go about 7 minutes in. We'll see how far this goes. So if you remember last time, the narrator was talking about one of the reasons why Russia is invading Ukraine, and it has to do with this funnel system. That being said, I am going to turn the camera off just for copyright reasons and issues. Ms. Torres should have sent everyone the link so you have it if you want to watch it.